particular version of this recipe that I learned, I got from a very good friend of mine who was sort of one of the moms in the neighborhood. And in the 6th grade, she taught me to make it.
That's so
And
great.
So this is a lifelong recipe.
It's a recipe from your heart. And that's what recipes are like that, aren't they? They're like a gift from the heart.
Yes, exactly.
Well, show me how it's done.
Well, so the first thing that we're going to do is prepare the garlic. The recipe calls for 40 cloves,
Right.
and what I generally tell people to do is, because I've actually shown a couple people how to make this, is to take 4 heads. And it doesn't really matter how many cloves are inside. You really want about 4 heads of garlic.
All right.
And so the way that I deal with this is to smash it, and I'm going to do that, and garlic may go flying.
Smash away. Have at it. Wow.
And you take all the bits of peel off.
Okay.
It would take you a really long time to peel all of this if you did it like this, you know, just straight up. So what I do instead is collect all the cloves, and when you get the 4 heads, generally, you know, you get the paper off and whatnot.
Right.
Then you pour it into boiling water.
Okay. Wow. So you
And
kind of boil them a little.
So you're blanching it.
Okay.
Blanch it for about a minute, and you know, you just kind of let it float around in there.
Okay.
And then when it's done, what you're going to do is pull it back out with a slotted spoon.
Let the water drain off.
Right, at that point, then you're going to let it cool because it's really hot. And so in the meantime, what we can do is go to the other pan. I've put in a tablespoon of butter, and I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of olive oil. The next thing you do is you heat up the fat, and you take...
We're using butter just, right?
We're using 1 tablespoon of butter
Okay.
and 3 tablespoons of olive oil.
All right.
So then what we're going to do is salt and pepper each piece.
Okay. And using a pepper grinder so it's nice and fresh, the pepper.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're going to add a little bit of salt, and I like to use just kind of a kosher rock salt like that.
Sea salt.
One thing is I use butter without salt so that I can add the amount of salt that I want.
So you can control the salt.
Right,
Okay, good
exactly.
thinking.
So then I just put it in.
Oh, very nice.
And so we're going to, you know, we would do that with all of these guys. And I'm putting the seasoned side down.
Okay.
So normally I would have a bit more room and I would lay all of this out, but
That's okay.
basically we're just going to do this. And you can hear it starting to sizzle.
Very nice.
And the idea is that this is just going to brown.
Okay.
Because later this is going in the oven where it's really going to cook.
Really
so
okay, so you're just going to toast the outside.
Yeah, about 5 minutes. You know,
Cool.
and then on the other side, of course, you can add a little bit more salt.
Okay, so a little more
A
salt.
little more salt, just a tiny bit.
Cool. All right.
A little more pepper, like that, and it will brown up. And then at the point when this is ready, we would pull it out like this. So this is all browned, right? And we've gone through the entire
We've
chicken,
used all of our chicken,
with the exception of the back,
Just
which
the
is going
back
to go
is in
into
the broth?
Yeah, the back goes in the broth, and you just use that for some other point. Then you throw in these guys.
Ah, can you see that?
So we're going to brown those.
In goes the garlic, right where we just took the chicken out.
And again, this is something that you would want to do for about 5 minutes. We don't have that kind of time. So basically, again, you're just browning it. And you don't want to let it burn, because when it burns, it gets very bitter and it's not too good.
Yeah.
So we'll let that brown for a moment.
Okay, we've got 2 minutes.
At the point when that's browned, you would add 3 tablespoons of the cognac and half a bottle of wine, which is about 2 cups, 1.5 to 2 cups.
Okay, and the alcohol just all goes away, right?
Right, so because we're cooking it in the oven for an hour, hour and 15 minutes, the alcohol burns off, but the flavor goes deep into that garlic, which it would be frightening to eat that raw. But when you cook it over over that hour, and with the alcohol and the chicken and all of those herbs, it gets sweet. It slow cooks and it gets very sweet and it's delicious.
Very nice.
So even though it's a frightening sounding dish, it's absolutely fantastic.
40 cloves of garlic, still fun. So let's take our oven version out and take a look at it.
So then let me just say this one last thing. We would do this. We would throw in the alcohol. We would throw these guys in, and we would put in. I like to use more bay leaves than the recipe usually calls for. It usually says 1 leaf. I use about 5.
Okay.
For something like this where there's a significant amount.
All right.
And that's it. So
all right, let's see. I'll get this. If you get the chicken out of the oven. Now this recipe is complex and we went through it quickly, so you definitely want to get the cookbook. It smells great.
So now what we want to do is, and you can see that, it's got a really nice sauce in there.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And the chicken goes on top.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much, Mary Hodder, for 40 cloves of garlic and chicken. Oh, it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. If you enjoyed this selection from KTEH Cooks with Garlic, we'd love to hear from you. Please log on to our website and show your support for our locally produced programs. We'll make it easy with an installment plan. Pledge $5 a month and we'll say thanks with our KTEH Cooks with Garlic cookbook. Inside, you'll find more than 300 recipes from viewers all over Silicon Valley and the Central Coast. Secret family recipes like garlic walnut pesto, or traditional favorites like chicken with 40 cloves of garlic, and modern takes on old standbys like gluten-free pizza. From appetizers like eggplant tahini to desserts like garlic ice cream, you can enjoy the heart-healthy benefits of garlic every day with the 326 recipes in the KTEH Cooks with Garlic cookbook. Pledge $5 a month and join the thousands of local viewers who support public television for everyone to enjoy. Get out,